Hello friends, and welcome to the Hanged Man in the Moon. If this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you for coming. I'm pleased to meet you. If you've been here before, thank you for returning. I'm truly honored. Friends, if you are a returning visitor, you probably already know that for about a year, I have taken a deep dive into the continental tarot system. Now, just in case you don't know what that means, let me give you a brief explanation. Most of us, especially in the English-speaking world, are familiar with tarots which arise from the Order of the Golden Dawn. The most common and most popular is the Smith-Waite, or the RWS, and all of its modern iterations. But there's also the Harris-Crowley, the Thoth deck, and its fewer, but also very popular iterations. Those are two systems, and yes, I call them systems, which arose from the Golden Dawn. But the Golden Dawn wasn't active until the late 1800s, and the tarots that they created came at the turn of the century, into the 1900s. There was tarot before that, and so you're probably thinking, yes, there was Tarot de Marseille, and that is true. But the Tarot de Marseille was investigated, was analyzed, was scrutinized, and a layer of esoterica was added to the Tarot de Marseille by several scholars, including Eliphas Levi, including Etteilla, including Papus, including Oswald Wirth, including Eudes Picard. And those concepts and that layering of esoterica created what is frequently called, and is called by me, the continental tarot. And originally, I had no interest in the continental tarot systems. I had no interest in looking at Etteilla decks or at decks by Oswald Wirth. But then I stumbled upon the Tarot of the Holy Light by the brilliant Christine Payne-Towler, and her deck sparked an interest in the continental tarot for me. And so I got interested in looking at Eliphas Levi's work, in looking at the decks created by Etteilla, in looking at the deck created by Oswald Wirth. And I started looking for them and searching them out. And I have a couple of them. But I wanted to, before I really did a dive into an Etteilla deck, for example, I wanted to have a few iterations of the deck so that I could use them and compare them and broaden my scope of understanding of them. So I purchased one at a fairly high price, not crazy high, but still high for me. And then I thought, there is a wonderful creator at Bigcartel called the Cartomancer. Now the operator's name is Linda, and there are a few decks that I had put on my wish list from her site. One of them, a couple of them Tarot de Marseille, a couple of them Lenormand, and then I saw that she had a whole bunch of Etteilla decks, she had a Papus deck, and I thought, okay, this is the time. So I put in a humongous order. And she got them all ready, she got them all sent out, and I waited. And I asked her when she thought I might get them, and she said, well, they might not even be out of the printers yet, so wait a while longer. So I waited and I waited and I waited, and I just kind of gave up. And then Linda had realized that there was a problem with one of the decks that I had ordered. One of the Etteilla decks had 274 cards and no 75. That's the way the Etteilla deck is numbered, right? And so she sent me a replacement 75. Beautiful person that she is. And then I replied to her saying, thank you very much. I appreciate your consideration and your attention to detail, but I never got the decks. You know what she did? This wonderful, wonderful person sent me a replacement order. And that replacement order arrived before this last weekend. And so this is, and I don't do haul videos, but this is kind of a haul video and a thank you video for the beautiful, beautiful soul that realized how much I really wanted to have these decks and to use these decks and to study these decks. So this is also a thank you video. And a little bit of an advertisement. Now I've opened the box, but I haven't looked at the cards specifically, but still, this is an advertisement for Bigcartel and the Cartomancer because thank you. Because thank you. So friends, what am I going to do? I'm going to turn the camera down and we're going to look at the decks. I'm probably going to I'm not going to do a deep walkthrough of any specific deck at first. If there's any deck there that you specifically want me to do a deep walkthrough of, let me know in the comments below. Okay? So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera down and we're going to take a look at some decks. Here we go. Friends, here we are, and this is my haul. Here it is. Now, I got a heck of a lot of Etteilla decks. I'm just saying, I couldn't choose. Can you tell which ones are Etteilla? Well, let me show you. This one, and this one, and this one, and yes, this one. These are all Etteilla-based decks. These three are the Grand Etteilla, also the Tarot Égyptien, the Tarot Fantaisie Égyptien, all based on Etteilla, all Etteilla. And this is the Grand Etteilla, Petite Etteilla. Now, the reason I wanted to get this, and the reason I really wanted to do a deep, I wanted to dive into Etteilla, is because I've heard a rumor. The rumor that I heard was that Caitlin Matthews, who has done some phenomenal work, is going to be doing a Petite Etteilla deck and study guide, a study book, sometime hopefully soon. So to go along with that, I wanted to get myself a Petite Etteilla and begin there, and then, which is where Etteilla began, and then move into the Grand Etteillas, and then maybe go back and restart my Lenormand and Kipper and Sybil studies. Because I've studied, this is a, okay, so 4 decks are Etteilla. Petite, Grand. This is basically a Lenormand. But this is a Lenormand reproduction of a deck that was created in the United States, not in Europe, which is why I wanted to get this deck. This is the Madame Morrow's fortune-telling cards based on Lenormand. It's just the United States iteration of that. And then I got this Papus deck, and then I got this deck, Tarocchini by Giuseppe Maria Mitelli. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the Petite Lenormand, the Petite Etteilla, Petite Oracle Dame, which also I believe inspired the Lenormand, by the way. And then I'll go through, we'll flip through some of these, we'll flip through all of these, Grand Etteilla, and then we'll take a look at the Papus, and then we'll take a look at the Mitelli. But we're going to do it very quickly. If you want to see, again, like I said, if you want to see a walkthrough, an actual walkthrough of any one of these decks, let me know in the comments below. Okay, so first, let me first wipe a little bit of the sweat off of me. It is really, really hot in here, just saying. And I will clear away these decks, and I'll zoom in so you can see these decks a little bit more clearly. And like I said, we're going to start with the Petit Oracle Dame, which is, whoa, let's see, okay. We can go a little bit closer here, right? There we go. Okay, so again, Petit Oracle de Dame.
The Cartomancer's decks all come in very similar boxes. The first interaction I had with the Cartomancer at Bigcartel was when I got my deck called the Game of Hope, which is usually what we think of as the original Lenormand deck, right? From Germany, the Game of Hope. Let's see, I think I'm flipping these cards around. So the boxes at Bigcartel look very similar to this. You know, they're hand folded. They're not difficult to use, but they're not, you know, fancy schmancy either. They're very, for a tuck box, and you know how many of us feel about tuck boxes. For a tuck box, it's serviceable. It's fine. I love the design of it. The colors are wonderful. But yeah, a tuck box. And now let's go into the deck. Like I said, we're not doing a walkthrough, partly because I'm sweating all over the place, and partly because I want to show off all of these as quickly as I possibly can. So here we go. A couple of extra cards, titles. You've got some meanings here on the back, keywords in English, which will be helpful. For example, number 1 is voyage, earth. Number 2, clarity, victory. Number 3, thoughts, water, etc. Why do we have that, and why is that helpful? Well, because this is a reproduction deck of a French deck, and we have French on the cards. Voyage, terre, voyage, earth, right? Now this looks like a world card, doesn't it? Now we have a playing card insert. I didn't show you the backs. Look at the backs of this. Isn't that just gorgeous? I love that kind of, I forget the name of that art style, but where you put ink in water and then you use that to print. It's not actually water, it's ink in another kind of medium, and then you put the paper on top. It's just gorgeous. I love this. The colors, fabulous. The cardstock, beautiful. Playing cardstock, very easy to shuffle. Let me show you that. All of these decks are going to have the same beautiful, yeah, beautiful cardstock. And I just got these out of order, but that's okay, because if you want a walkthrough of this deck, I will put it back in order and we'll walk through. But this is number 1. Here's number 2. Yeah. You see victory at the bottom, victoire, and éclatement, the element, what does that say? In English, that says clarity. Okay. Éclatement. But doesn't that look like the first card of an Etteilla deck, like the Grand Etteilla? We have the playing card insert there. We've got another card that reminds me a lot of an Etteilla deck, right? Two dogs, a little bit like the moon card, right? And this is O at the bottom, water, and what is that? That is thoughts. This is the second element. And number 4, we have the star. So we had the sun. All right, that makes sense. So we had the world, the sun, the moon, the star, and then we have, what is this? This looks like maybe lightning. What is card number 5? Card number 5 is heaven on earth. Also, reversed, it would be bad man and woman. So at the top I see creation of men and women here. So these cards, they're cute, they're nice, and what I'm saying, they're cute. They're nicely reproduced. We see an upright and reversed meaning. We have card inserts. So this really is, and how many cards are there? Well, let me look at this major card here. We have 42 cards. So 42 upright and reversed meanings. We've got a total of 82 separate meanings. And this would be a deck we would use with reversals, right? So more than a Lenormand, even just with the upright meanings alone. But it's a gorgeous deck, right? Lovely, absolutely lovely. Beautifully reproduced. reminding me a lot of the Etteilla deck. But we don't have any minor arcana, right? It's like an Etteilla deck, majors plus. So this is the Petite Oracle de Dame. Lovely, lovely deck. And I'm very, very interested in getting to know this deck, especially when Caitlin Matthews comes out. God help, please, please, please let her come out with her deck and her book to go with that deck, so I can begin my Etteilla studies in earnest. So there's this one. And now we're going to go to, let's see how many of these Etteilla decks I can get on camera at one time. Let me see, without having to change my focus. I can get all three on there, can't I? Okay, so we have Le Grand Etteilla au Tarot Égyptien, Le Tarot Fantaisie Égyptien, Jeu de Tarot Égyptien, Livre de Thoth. A lot of people call the Etteilla decks the Book of Thoth, the Egyptian Tarot, and the Grand Etteilla. Right? Are these names all ringing bells for you? I hope so. So I'll take them all out of their tuck boxes, and you will see that the tuck boxes are very similar. This one opens on the side. Getting the cards out is not a problem. Getting them back in is also not a problem. I will show you the backs first after I remove the title cards. Let's see. So I'm going to put that one there, and let me remove the title card so you get to see the backs. Backs are just gorgeous, aren't they? Oh, let me get it closer on camera. There you go. And let me take out the Tarot Fantaisie Égyptien. The side opening tuck box is actually much easier to open, as we say in English. Open, open, open. Here we go. This is the, what is this? This is the, again, the Le Tarot Fantaisie Égyptien. And then we have the Jeu de Tarot Égyptien, the game of Egyptian Tarot. And we know that the French call their Tarot not cards, not decks, but games, the game of Tarot. Here we go. So, here's the title card, the back. Beautiful backs. Love the backs. Let's take a look at some of the cards. Again, we're not going to do a deep dive walkthrough of any of these unless you ask me to. I'm just going to leave it alone. Okay, so we've got another title card here. And apparently I've got the decks all upside down. Le Grand Etteilla au Tarot Égyptien. This one does not have a title card at the very top. That's okay. This is Le Tarot Fantaisie Égyptien, with the Fool right at the top. And this is the Jeu de Tarot Égyptien. And here we go. So we see that the Fools are, I pity the Fool. Fools are interestingly similar and yet different. When I think of an Etteilla deck, I think of something that looks like this, right? We got, now this is 78. They're backwards. They're backwards. And I wanted to show you okay, so that's right. The Fool is number 78. We're going backwards. Maybe what I'd like to do is turn them over like this and show you from the beginning of the deck. Okay. Like I said, I have not looked at these decks at all. I've not looked at these decks at all. So let's go with card number 1. Oh, interesting. So these are the two images that I'm most familiar with from the Etteilla decks. Yeah, this one, which is Chaos, the Etteilla, Questionant, the Querent. Now this one is very different though, right? And yet this is a Grand Etteilla. We see here we have reverse meaning and upright meanings. We have, on this card, we have the Aries right there. The symbol for Aries, do you see that? Don't see the Aries right here. Let me get these out of the way. And I'm not going to show you every card. Now this, okay, here's another one. Now, 3 very different ways of showing basically the same thing. This is the image that I'm most familiar with and actually the most happy with. It has the Taurus there. We got the kids. We got the star on top of the tower. Beautiful card. Although this one does not have reverse meanings on the card, this one here does, right? Éclaircissement, the enlightenment, right? Éclaircissement. But here at the bottom we have faux. Oh, we have faux down here too. I'm sorry. I'm lying to you. But here we have something else. We have glory and we have tristesse. We have glory, I would imagine it's happiness, and sadness. So very different here. And let's see. Let's go through just a few more of these. And we have, oh, look at that. Eau, water. I don't speak French, but I know that much. Fidélité for card 3. And then again we have O and propos, droit, which means will, I think. We have the Gemini glyph right here. We have the 2 dogs, two dogs, moon, 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 no towers. The color saturation is so different in these 2 decks on the ends, right? Let me put these side by side. I mean, they're done differently. They're printed from different originals, I'm sure. There are many, many similarities. I see a crustacean right there. Oh, there it is. It's just not red. So, yeah, this is so interesting. How the differences. And these are my favorite kinds of... Okay, let me rephrase that. This one, these 2 are my favorite kinds of Etteilla decks. There's another kind of Etteilla deck that was published later, which I frankly don't like that much. It seems kind of garish to me, honestly. And also there are many people who like using that deck, but I don't. That one, again, seems kind of garish, and these seem much more subtle, if that makes any sense. We have Cancer there on the star, which is interesting. We got the lady, one of them facing one way, the other 2 facing the other way. We got, look at those planets. We got Mercury, we got Mars. Why do I only see Mercury and Mars up here at the top? There's the moon. I suppose that could be the sun, or maybe just a star. I don't know. But where, oh, here's Jupiter. Oh, there's Saturn. Okay. Where's Venus? Why don't I see Venus? I see maybe the sun, maybe the moon, Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn, Mars. Where's Venus? If you see Venus, let me know. I just don't see her. Anyways, okay, so one last card. We'll look at number 5, and then I'm moving on to another deck. Here is, look at this, Voyage. Again, droit. Yeah, will, I believe. Will? There's another, what does droit mean? I forget. Anyways, we have Earth. We have the looking basically like the world card, right? We got the figure in the center. We got the 4 cherubim, the 4 cardinal. Okay, interesting. Look, so Etteilla really makes it clear that these are not just, these are not from the books of the Bible. This is Scorpio, this is Aquarius, this is Taurus, this is Leo. And it really emphasizes that in these 2 decks, right? Which I like. I like that a lot. Now, Etteilla really had a strong... Okay, I said I was only going to show you one more. Here's one more. La nuit, le jour, night and day for Scorpio. You see Scorpio there? These decks are just fabulous. So if you want to see a walkthrough of these decks, let me know. Oh, now if you're curious about the big cards, how well do they shuffle? Let's see. Which set of cards do you want me to shuffle for you? The ones that are plaid, kind of like plaid backs? The ones that are, I don't know what this is, but they're nice. Let me shuffle the funky ones. I'll shuffle the funky ones. The funky ones look fun to shuffle. Okay, so all the same cards. Whoa, and I just sent my one pack of cards. Oh, and now I sent the other pack of cards flying. Just a second. Okay, let's get these piled back up. And let me show you the shuffle on these. So, big cards, yeah? Look at that. Isn't that just great? The cardstock on these decks is just fabulous. Let me do an overhand. If you know me, you know I'm horrible at overhand shuffling, and yet, now the matte quality of these cards makes them slip just enough, but they don't fly all over the place when I overhand shuffle them. They've got that little bit of that feeling, that sound of the. Yeah, you hear that sound of the cards? Isn't that nice? And beautifully cut. Let me show you a riffle. These will riffle like a dream. Look at that. Look at that. Right out of the box. And it bridges beautifully. Just fabulous cardstock. Okay, so those are the Etteilla, and yeah, those are all the Etteilla. Now, let me show you the, what did I say? Okay, I will show you the Lenormand from the United States, which is called Madame Morrow's fortune-telling cards. I believe there will only be 36 cards in this deck, but I might be lying because it's been a long time since I've looked at the deck. So it's a tuck box, but it opens, you saw it, it opened very easily, right? Oops. Let me show you the backs of this deck. Look at those backs. Aren't they fabulous? They look like playing cards, which is what the Petite Lenormand and the Game of Hope are based on, right? Very, very simple. Lenormand card. We have the rider, we have the clover, we have the 3 card inserts are nice. Love the card inserts. I love the simple color, but you'll notice, look at that. The black and white-ish image right there, and then the card insert is in full-on color. Now, these are just phenomenal. Look at that King of Clubs right there with the clouds. And just to show you that we have all the cards we need, let me show you the last one here is card 36 with the cross and the 6 of clubs. Let's see, let me show you the people cards here. The gentleman and the lady. Let me just pull those out. Let's see if they face each other. That's something else many of us look for. Yeah? The gentleman and, okay, we've got 2. We got 2 gentlemen and 2 ladies. Well, that's nice. That's nice indeed. So the 2 gentlemen face each other. The 2 ladies face each other. The gentleman and the lady face each other. So we have any combination you want. Well, I don't know. If you've got a throuple of men, then maybe we don't have. I'm not showing you everything on the. There we go. So yeah, you see that? There we go. There we go. Sorry, like I said, it's hot in here and I'm sweating, and so my ability to focus is a little bit lacking. But you see, the 2 men face each other. Bon, don't and don't. The 2 ladies face each other. Don't and don't. The man and the lady face each other. So you've got what you can have many combinations. 2 women, 2 men, a man and a lady, 2 men and a lady, 2 women and a man. Many things. All 4, your choice. So yes, we've got that. Other things that I like to look for in a Lenormand deck are, now like I said, I've studied Lenormand, but I haven't gotten comfortable reading with Lenormand in public yet. That's something I'm hoping for sometime in the future. But let's see. Cards that face places, like the clouds. I guess we got a dark side and a light side there. Sure, why not? The coffin, we've got a head and a foot, I guess. It's a little hard to tell. Sharp end of the scythe, blunt end of the scythe is there. The broom, don't really go direction for the broom. Birds, we've only got one bird here. It's interesting. The child, the fox kind of looks not like a fox. The bear, star, stork, dog. Things that I like to... crossroads. Huh. I only see one road here. Which is, that's the original deck, but that's too bad. I like to have a fork in the road. I'll have to think about how to... Or maybe I could use this, yeah? The pointing one point... Go this way or go this way? I don't know. That's something I'll have to work on. Let's see. The rat... Okay, the mice. Okay, good. There's only one mouse here, which makes it a little bit easier because here's the thing, the eating part, and here's the dirtying part, right? So this is the thing that's being chewed away on, and this is the part that's being dirtied. That's one way of reading with the rat, right? Or the mouse. So we do have directionality here, which is nice. The book, can we see a binding edge? We can see a binding edge, I guess, here. The open end would be there, I guess. Maybe. Okay, so again, I'm not doing a deep dive, but this is a great, great deck. And I like having a deck, a Lenormand deck that was published in the United States. Back in, I forget the date. I think it was late 1700s. It was after the Lenormand deck was published as the Game of Hope. Okay, if you go to her website, if you go to Bigcartel, Cartomancer, that information will be there. So, I'm suggesting you do that. Go check out this deck. Next, what do I want to show you? I want to show you the Papus deck. Now, the Papus deck, this is something I got on a whim, thinking, I downloaded the book by Papus. I got this kind of on a whim, thinking I would dive into this as I was working with the Continental Tarot system. But then this didn't come, and now I'm on to my Thoth year, so this is going to have to wait a little bit. But, oh, look at that back. I love the back of this deck. I love the back image. It's reversible, sure. It's kind of like it's the wheel right there with the hexagram. Hexagram, it's not the hexagram. What do you call that? The pentacle, the hexacle? No. Anyways, the Star of David. Yeah, the two elements, fire and water together. And here we have the Sphinx. We got the alligator going down and the person coming up. We've got the wand of Hermes with the two other Carduceus. Oh, it's just a great back. I love this back. Okay, so let me show you the front of a couple cards. Oh, and again, this is in backwards order. Wait a second, 77? Huh. Which means that, okay, oh, that's why. Okay, gotcha. So, Etteilla put the Fool as number 78. Papus put the Fool as card 0. So we've got 78 cards here, but this is card number 0 or number 21. Which is interesting. So what do we have here? We've got the Hebrew letter Shin, which makes sense. No, it doesn't make sense, which means that, that's right, okay, which means that this card, which has the 0 on it, is actually, I believe, before the world card. Now, I hope I didn't break your brain there, but let me find the world card here. Oh, look at that. That's interesting. So, this deck, oh, what am I saying? It's not interesting. I turned the deck upside down. So, let me find the world card, and let me see if we've got going on what I think we've got going on. Yes, we do. Okay, so card 22 or 21 is the world. 0 or 21 is the Fool. le fauve, le monde. You'll notice we got a very traditional, a very common Cartomancer, kind of similar to world card with the lady, the bird, the angel, the lion, and the bull. We have the Hebrew letter tau. The sun as the attribution, and so if we line up the Hebrew, Shin comes before Tau. And then this is the Hebrew, oh, that's number one. That's Aleph, I'm sorry. That goes down here. Card 20 is the Hebrew letter, and I forget the name of it. This is Saturn for judgment. Here's the Sanskrit letter of, I think it's Ra. It's been a while since I've studied Sanskrit. But yeah, this Hebrew letter comes in this order. So it goes this one, this one, this one for Hebrew letter. Z, Hebrew letters. And this is Sha. And this is Ta, I think. God, it's been so long since I've studied Sanskrit. Anyways, so, yes. And then we have, here's 19 with the sun. Here's 18 with the moon, la lune, associated with Aquarius, right? The star is associated with Mercury. So the astrological associations here are more in line with the continental Tarot system than the Golden Dawn. More in line, not absolutely more in line, but more in line. And let's see, let me pull up some of the minors here. Let's see, here's the King of Wands. We have the Queen of Wands. Look at her. Gorgeous. The 2024 is the Knight of Wands. And the Page of Wands. Look at him. Gorgeous. And then here we have the 2026 is the Ten of Wands. And I love this. I love this kind of a pip card. All of this information is there, plus the 10, plus the additional symbol at the bottom. 3 nails for the 9 of Wands. So this will require study on my part, study that I have not even thought of studying yet, beginning yet. But if you want to see a walkthrough of this deck, let me know. This was the Papus deck. Papus le Tarot Divinatore. Beautiful deck. Beautiful deck. Okay, so that was the Papus deck, and I will put it back in order later. And the last one I'm going to show you is this deck, Giuseppe Maria Mitelli Tarocchini Bologna di 1760. I think that's how you say that. Anyways, so this is a tarot, but what kind of tarot is it? Let's take a look. So we've got 2 different cards. Whoa. Okay, so I want to show you the backs first. Okay, that's what the backs look like. Very, very Bolognese kind of back to a deck. Nice, yes. Simple, elegant, definitely woodcut. And let's read this together. Born in 1634, Giuseppe Maria Mitelli was an Italian engraver and painter. Around 1660, he was engaged to create a Tarocchini deck for a Bolognese family. Tarocchini is a card game similar to Tarot, but is made up of 62 cards rather than the typical Tarot's 78. 20 major trumps are here, and 4 familiar Tarot suits: denier, cups, swords, and rods. The pips only contain the ace and 6 through 10, omitting the 2, 3, 4, and 5. His early decks contained 4 popes in the major arcana, but in the 1725, the decks were issued with the 4 Moors in place of the popes. This deck contains the 4 Moors, which is why I got this deck. His self-portrait appears in the Ace of Denier. Okay, so since that is the highlight of the deck, we're going to go through the deck a little bit. Let's see. Let me make sure. Okay, yes. So, what I would consider reverse order, but we start off with this beautiful Fool. Lovely Fool. Now, a lot of the Bolognese decks have red dots in them from, I don't know, it could be from mold. But this deck does not seem to have those red dots. We have the Fool, and then we have the Mitelli. This deck reminds me a little bit of the not the Terra del Fuego. I'll try to put something at the bottom of the screen here to tell you. There's another tarot that I have, which is from Italy, and is pretty old, and I forget the name of it. I want to say Terra del Fuego, or Fin del Mundo. That's it. Terra Fin del Mundo, I think is the name. It reminds me of that deck a lot so far, just on these two cards. And then we have here's the Moor number 1. Okay, so let's see if we can lay these Moors out for us. Moor number 1. Moor number 2. Let me make sure those are both on screen for you. I have to get, oh no, I'm sorry, Moor number 1. Moor number 2. Moor number 3. And Moor number 4. And let me put them down so you can see them. Okay. Let's see. There, you can see those 4 Moors, right? Have to overlap these just a little bit. Aren't they gorgeous? Oh, they're just so beautiful. I love the greens. I love these greens here. Now, I love the skin tone. I love, the reds are nice too. You know, 2 of them look more, actually 3 of them kind of look feminine, but 2 of them look more feminine. This one looks more male, I'm sorry, not feminine. Look more like female presenting figures. This one looks more male. This one, I guess, could be male. Not sure how I'd read these guys. Gals. These thems. But yeah. This is the reason that I got the deck, frankly, because I wanted the deck with the Moors. I got a deck with the four Dukes, and I wanted one with the 4 Moors, and now I've got it. 5, here we go. 5 would be, this is love. Number 5 is love. Number 6 is the Chariot. No? Now, there are no numbers on the Moor cards, right? 4, 3, 2. Interesting. So, there are no numbers here. So the Fool has no number. The Mitelli, the Magician or the Piper, I don't know. This is all, maybe these are alternate Fool cards. Maybe they're alternate Fool cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Time is 11, 12. This would be the Hanged Man or Prudence. 13, Death. 14, 15 is the Tower. This would be the Tower or the Lightning. 16, this is the Star, a guy holding the thing. This is Judgment. This would be the Sun, I'm sure. This would be the Moon, the World. And then we go into the Minor Arcana. Okay, so if you want to see a walkthrough of this deck, let me know in the comments below. It's a beautiful deck, gorgeous deck. Minors, the cups are beautiful. Okay, I don't want to. I'm talking off camera, looking at them myself and not showing you. So I'm sorry. That is what I got. That is what I got. I'm not going to put these decks back in order because they're now spread all over the place. So that would take too much time. But let me know, which of these would you like to see a deep dive into? Not like a deep dive, a study dive, but a walkthrough of. Let me know. And Let me know if you have these decks. Let me know if you use these decks. Let me know if you want these decks. Let me know if you're going to go over to the Cartomancer at Bigcartel and buy one or all of these decks. She's also got some other Tarot de Marseille decks. She's got 2 that I've really wanted, but I have other editions of it. I'm like, do I really need them? One is the oh gosh, what is the name of it? Now I can't think of it. The one with the Bacchus on it. Anyways, there are 2 decks. There are 2 Tarot de Marseille decks that she has on her site that I've got other editions of, but her cardstock is just so wonderful. I might break down and buy them someday soon. Anyways, so yes, go visit her shop. They are wonderful. She is wonderful. These decks are wonderful. Life is wonderful. Thank you very much for being here, friends. And if you want a private reading from me, my email address is also below. thehangedmaninthemoon@gmail.com. Shoot me an email. We'll get you a reading. So, friends, here we are. Thank you for being here. Hit the thumbs up button so that YouTube knows that you got something out of it and other people might get something out of it too. It helps the channel. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and hit the alarm bell so you get notifications of when I upload videos. And now, as always, I wish you love, joy, well-being, and pure awareness. Thank you.